Hello and thanks for staying with us on your channel of choice, Africa Independent Television, AIT. This is the Signature Show. I am Nwabuz Njoka, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the program. Now, this Sunday, kidnapped nursery school child, Chukwuka Nnadi, Imo State government wades in. Obedame Lafia, did he say anything new, really? And Emir for Jos, we have a special report this Sunday. Plus, the letter the Minister of Justice, Attorney General, wrote to the Inspector General of Police. What are the legal and constitutional issues? And in Corruption Story this Sunday, fraud from right inside EFCC detention. Please stay with us. Now, yesterday, the traditional rulers, 5 of them, of Ovoro clan in Abombise local government area of Imo State, where a nursery school pupil of Ndibo Ovoro Community Primary School, Chukwuka Nnadi, was kidnapped, received a full briefing on the case. Now, before the meeting, at which all the 5 traditional rulers were briefed, the Imo State government had directed the local government chairman of Abombise to wade into the matter. The chairman, Barrister Emma Njoko, was at Ndibo community on Tuesday to hold consultations with community leaders and parents of Chukwuka Nnadi. We will bring you developments arising from both meetings in the next edition of the Signature Show. All right? Now, last Wednesday, the Just Office of the Directorate of State Service, DSS, invited former Deputy Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Obedaya Melafia. Now, he was invited over comments he made in an interview he granted on Abuja radio station. That Dr. Melafia had told the radio station that the Nigerian government was not just unwilling and unable to stop the killings in southern Kaduna, but in fact, the government was complicit in the killings. He also added that they had intelligence from repentant bandits and Boko Haram elements that one of the northern governors was the commander of Boko Haram. DSS invited him, and the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, is also threatening to sanction the radio station that aired the interview. Now, the comment by Dr. Melafia may be very extreme statements.
What I want to say is that, yes, all of those words were made by me. But you know, if the whole 55 minutes interview was played out, the context of what I said in the small clip that went viral would have become clearer.
But it was also in this country that former governor of Borno State, the same state in which Boko Haram has killed many more innocent Nigerians, Kashim Shettima, told a newspaper that northern governors conspired to frustrate the efforts by former President Goodluck Jonathan to buy arms, to prosecute the war, and eliminate Boko Haram. Just in case we have all forgotten, it was also in this country that some Nigerians mobilized and called for a regime change over fuel subsidy.
No force on earth can stop this revolution. The fact that I am here today with my children, with all these wonderful Nigerians, send the message to Abuja and wherever they are that the struggle for which we have been planning and working all these years have now taken off.
Now, last week, we ended our program with a question on whether an emir of Jos was being proposed. This is the subject of our special report this Sunday. Please stay with us. Can there be an emirate council in any locality without an emir or a majority Muslim population?
No, you cannot have an emirate council or an emirate without an emir. The term emir emanated from the Arabic term, right, called Amir. So it is mostly synonymous with mostly dominated Muslim communities.
Bukuru in Jos South local government of Plateau State has a predominantly Christian population. It has a traditional ruler called Danga Danyang, the Wanruwe Guyel. But in late July 2020, shortly before the Eid al-Kabir festival, invitation cards were distributed to prominent Muslim businessmen, some politicians and the media, requesting their presence at the turbaning of one Alhaji Samaila Abdullahi as the fourth Sarkin Kerana of Bukuru. The mere turbaning ceremony did not evoke as much contention as the group that extended the invitation. The invitation card read, Bukuru Emirate Council invites you to the turbaning ceremony of Alhaji Samaila Abdullahi as the Sarkin Kerana fourth. Is the government aware of this invitation card?
Well, as I talked to you as the Chief Information Officer of the state and the clearinghouse when it comes to those matters like that, I only saw the invitation on social media. I've not seen a hard copy of that invitation. And I can tell you that that invitation, as far as the state government is concerned, was computer generated, and so it remains so.
Another contentious information on the card read, venue, MS Palace, Bukuru. So is there an emirate council in Bukuru? And is there an emir with a palace in Bukuru? The Plateau State government spoke to Signature Show.
There is no emirate council in Jos South. The two emirate councils that we have in Plateau State are situated in Wase and Kanam. For Bukuru, Bukuru does not have an emirate council. The chairman of the Jos Joint Traditional Council is His Majesty the Bongom of Jos, who is the chairman of the Traditional Council of Emirs and Chiefs of Plateau State. So there's no such thing as Bukuru Emirate Council is non-existent, not in any document, not that we know.
Apart from the reaction of the Plateau State government, the member representing Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Dachong Musa Bagos, called the invitation to the turbaning an act of needless provocation. In a statement he issued, following tension generated by the invitation by an unknown Bukuru Emirate Council, Dachong Bagos said that he was not aware of the existence of any Emirate Council in Bukuru and that the invitation by the non-existent Emirate Council was capable of offending the peace not just in Jos South but across the entire Plateau State. Part of Dachong's statement reads, an emirate is a political territory that is ruled by an Arabic or Islamic monarch-styled emir which does not exist anywhere in Jos South.
Whatever those people want to achieve, they will not be able to achieve. Certainly there's something they want to achieve, which we in government do not know and we will not allow. If there's any legal document to back up their claim, government will go ahead and will endorse whatever they want to do. But there's no such thing. It's non-existent. Those people just want to foment trouble for us. We have had enough of trouble in Plateau State and in Jos South. If we had allowed that to fly, by now, Bukuru area and nobody knows, maybe the whole state will have been engulfed by now.
But there are other suggestions that the Plateau State government is actually only testing the waters in a political move to compensate the Hausa Fulani community, which gave a support to the election of the Simon Lalong-led administration in the state by giving them an emirate in Bukuru.
That is false. that is trying to pitch the government against the people. I talk to you with all the authority that even if there is any kite that will be flown by the state government, it will not be in just South. I can assure you. But there is nothing like that. We want to assure Plateau people and assure the entire world that it is fallacy. It remains as fallacy. It remains as mischief. It remains as a mere figment of imagination of people who want to fan the embers of disunity and cause mayhem and chaos for whatever reason. The government is not thinking of a thing like that.
It appears, however, that whatever and whoever was responsible for planting the Emirate Council and MS Palace on the turbaning ceremony of a said Alhaji Samaila Abdullahi may have beaten a hasty retreat. In a statement dated July 31, 2020, the Jos South local government announced the suspension of the turbaning ceremony. But who is Alhaji Samaila Abdullahi? If the authorities did not know about the turbaning, and if they did not know who Alhaji Samaila Abdullahi is, why was there a suspension of the ceremony? The statement, signed by Daniel Bigwan, Information Officer of Jos South Local Government Council, said that the decision to suspend the ceremony was reached at an emergency security meeting held at the council secretariat in Bukuru. The statement was an indication that some people indeed planned a turbaning ceremony using the name of an inexistent emirate council and to take place in a provocative MS Palace. Since the Plateau State government says that there is neither an emirate in Jos South local government nor an emir, who is trying to foment a crisis by creating this fictitious position. Many of the crises that have rocked Plateau State have emanated from either ethnic or religious misunderstandings. The security authorities, the state government, and indeed the federal government must get to the root of this attempt to create another reason for bloodletting on the plateau. It is not yet late to do so. A stitch in time saves 9. Well, thanks for being there and investing your time with us. This is the Signature Show on AIT now. About 2 weeks ago, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, wrote the Inspector General of Police requesting him to provide security cover for 14 members of the Edo State House of Assembly. In fact, they were 17, to be inaugurated and for the Edo State House of Assembly to undertake its legislative duties. Now, did the minister act within his constitutional powers? And were those 14 Edo State citizens really members of the State House of Assembly? This is the issue we consider in our conversation this Sunday. Please stay with us.
SignatureTV.org. Breaking the news, following the news, analyzing the news, 247 round the clock, all on the go. SignatureTV.org. News in your pocket.
This afternoon, I have discussing with me Barrister Lawrence Erewele. Barrister Erewele is a member of Nigerian Bar Association Abuja branch, the Unity Bar. Lawrence, you're welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, sir.
Can a house function? Can a member be called a legislator if he was not inaugurated?
A member cannot function when he has not been properly inaugurated by the House of Assembly, specifically in this case, Edo State. for a member to say, I'm a member of the Edo State House of Assembly, by the provision of section 90, 91, 92 to 94, one, that member must, there are procedures. After being elected, you take your certificate of return with your passport, and you go and fill your code of conduct form. The governor will make a proclamation under his signature. The house will be properly inaugurated. At that point, the house is inaugurated. You elect the speaker and the deputy speaker. Now, by virtue of section 94 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1999 and other sections I earlier mentioned, every other member will swear to an oath of allegiance of membership under 7th schedule of the Constitution. Until a member does that, you are not that person is not a member of a State House of Assembly. In this case, Edo State House of Assembly.
Can a house be inaugurated twice after the government has made the proclamation?
The answer is no, because by virtue of section 105 of the Constitution, the governor, whoever is elected the governor, will proclaim the House of Assembly into session. Now, the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt Division, in EDI, the same as this House of Assembly, versus the clerk of the National Assembly and other persons, including the Inspector General of Police, was a party in that matter. The court held rightly that once a proclamation is made by the state governor, he can make a second proclamation. So the governor makes the proclamation once, and that court heard that the proclamation that was made by the Edo State governor, in person of His Excellency Governor Baseki, is right, valid, and subsisting until, if you read the order, until that house, the 4 years of that house lapses. Edo State House of Assembly lapses, if you read the order very well. So, proclamation is made once, and Edo State House of Assembly, the governor of Edo State rightly made the proclamation, and that proclamation has been affirmed by a court of competent jurisdiction, Federal High Court, Port Harcourt.
Let us interrogate the procedure, or in fact, process. Now that some members were inaugurated and some members were not, those who were not, could they go back to the House and ask the Speaker to inaugurate?
Yes, that is the procedure in the section 90 to 96 I mentioned to you. They will have to go back. There's a condition there, whether they will fill their code of conduct form before inauguration. But your question is whether they can go back. Yes, they can go back, because at the point the house is inaugurated, the clerk no longer functions in any capacity. Rather than being the administrative or the head of the house, it is the speaker that is now the head. It is only the speaker that can swear anybody in. The case of Bukola Saraki at the last National Assembly, I think 7th National Assembly, is a case study. When when the president made this proclamation, when the house was being inaugurated, some were at the conference center enjoying themselves. After that proclamation, the president, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, did not make a second proclamation. They had to go to Bukola, Senate President. It doesn't matter who is occupying the office, to be sworn in. That's the law.
Let me go a little bit outside the law. What do you think is responsible for the uninaugurated members taking the opportunity of going back to the House to inaugurate? And now we are looking for a second inauguration.
Well, apparently it could be, I think, because of the Attorney General's letter of 5th of August 2020, which they read upside down. That was what yes, the Attorney General wrote a letter. But I think they misunderstood what the Attorney General was saying in that letter. That was why they took that step.
Let us look into Attorney General's letter again.
Yes.
By that letter, could these people, these uninaugurated, these letters, they have just walked back to the Speaker and say, inaugurate us?
Yes. I think that was what the Attorney General's letter intended. Because I do not see the Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation that I know. I've met him with him one-on-one to say, no, write a letter to go and cause crisis. But I think the end users misunderstood what the Attorney General was saying. The Attorney General said, provide security for them to be inaugurated. The Attorney General did not say, go and be inaugurated by a clerk. So they could have just gone straight to the house. Speaker, we now want to be inaugurated. I have it on information that the speaker had even reached out to them to say, even before the Attorney General's letter, look, please come for your inauguration. For whatever reason, I don't know, they did not go. So on that letter, on the strength of AG's letter, they could have gone to the house and said, look, we want to be inaugurated. Then the speaker will swear them in.
Okay, but as it is now, you said they could not claim that there is slavery.
Yes, they cannot claim that. Well, it's not. Well, you see, do less, said less. Although the law is strict, it is the law. For you to be a legislator, a member of the House of Assembly, it's not me that is saying it. It's the provision of the Constitution, which we all swore to obey. You have one. To fill your code of conduct, you must come with your certificate of return. That's a process. You must fill your code of conduct form and submit it. Upon submission, you will not take oath of allegiance of membership as specified in the form in its 7th schedule of the Constitution. If you have not done this, you are not a member of the House of Assembly. In any case, the Speaker proceeded to declare their seat vacant on the 4th of December 2019. That's the information we have. The Speaker proceeded to declare their seat vacant on the 4th of December 2019. The law is clear without a statement that even if you think an action is wrong, you won't sit down in the comfort of your bedroom to say, no, let me ignore it, the action is wrong. Go to the court. Let the court use their powers under Section 6, Subsection 6A and B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to declare that action bad. And that was why immediately the Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly declared their seat vacant. They quickly came to the Federal Capital Territory, Federal High Court in Abuja here, to challenge the action of the Speaker. In that suit, they addressed Honorable Frank Okiye as the Speaker, which means they can't feign ignorance of the fact that Honorable Frank Okiye is the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly. In that originating summons, which they filed in Federal High Court Abuja, they addressed Honorable Frank Okiye as the Speaker and urged the courts. One of the questions they're asking is whether the Edo State House of Assembly could rightly declare their seat vacant on the face of a subsisting court action that was instituted by, I think, 3 members of the members-elect in Edo State High Court. So they have done that. So they should have waited for that court to determine their originating summons, their suit, before they went ahead to take this process.
But with the way it is now, that I know that those 14 people at least are not members of the Edo State House of Assembly, legally speaking.
By the provision, I'm not the one speaking. By the provision of the Constitution, from section 90 to 96, specifically 94, they cannot be said to be members of Edo State House of Assembly as of today. It's not. I'm not the one saying it, but the Constitution. They are my friends.
Because at least for now, as much as we know, no court has reversed, has conferred that status on them.
No court. No court.
Okay. You know, I'm asking person this line of conversation. Is it possible that, with all due respect, that the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, a senior advocate of Nigeria, knowing the law to its head, would write the Inspector General of Police requesting for security cover for the inauguration of some members of Edo State House Assembly who, by the provisions of the Constitution, are not in fact and in law legislators, and asking for the inauguration. But that's the implication.
Yes, your question is whether it is possible. Ordinarily in law, it ought not to have been possible. But because we are human beings, anything in Nigeria today, anything can happen. That is to that question. Now, for the Attorney General to have written when we were all worried when everybody started claiming Attorney General wrote this, I said no. For me, I said I have had cause to meet with the Honorable Attorney General one-on-one when I was the Secretary of the Unity Bar. We paid him a courtesy call. He's a gentleman. So I went deep to look for the premise upon which the Attorney General wrote that letter. A letter was written to the Attorney General by Barrister West Idahosa. So I had to look for that letter, because Attorney General is not omnipotent, neither is he omnipresent. He cannot be everywhere at the same time. He would have acted because of the fact presented to him. When I read West Idahosa's letter, I discovered that the counsel to the solicitor to the members elect did not bring to the knowledge of the Attorney General the pending suits. That letter was merely based on politics. He cited some sections of the Constitution, and the Attorney General now wrote based on that letter. I think what the Attorney General ought to have done, in my thinking, is the Attorney General would have extended his investigation to the Speaker to say, look, I have a petition before me. What has happened in this matter? Probably the Attorney General would have had a balanced view before issuing that letter. But as to the powers of the Attorney General to write that letter, the Office of the Attorney General is created by Section 150 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the law is this: a statute creating an office gives that person the power, also create the powers of that office. So that Section 174, 150 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria established the Office of the Attorney General. The powers by Section 1, Subsection 2 of that Constitution, of that Section 150, it only says who can be the Attorney General 10 years post-call. Now, the powers of the Attorney General is stated in Section 174 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. That Section 174 does not include that the Attorney General can write to the Inspector General of Police, giving directive to the Inspector General of Police. No, the Inspector General of Police is an institution of its own created by the Constitution. It's only the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as Commander-in-Chief, because he commands both the IG, both the Attorney General of the Federation, both the Commissioner of Police in Edo State, that can give directive to the Inspector General of Police. So the letter that was written by Attorney General was outside the constitutional powers as stated in Section 174. However, the Attorney General in that letter did not empower or instruct the members elect to do what they did. So that is why you cannot fault Attorney General in toto. That letter simply said, give the security to the members elect for them to be inaugurated. The Attorney General did not tell the members elect to go and get a clerk.
Lawrence, I have a challenge here. We wrote a letter requesting the IG to provide security for them to be inaugurated.
Yes.
In the course of this conversation, we have established by the provisions of the Constitution and by the process that the Constitution enumerates should be undertaken before the member can call himself a legislator, that some of these members have not fulfilled those conditions, and therefore by the provision of the Constitution they cannot claim legislators.
Yes.
So who are we inaugurating?
Thank you.
Some interlopers?
Yes, on the face of the law, interlopers, because they are not members per se now, neither are they members elect anymore by virtue of the pronouncement of the Speaker of 4th of December having declared their seat vacant, which they are presently challenging. But we are your question is tied to the letter of the Attorney General. Yes. That takes us back to what I said earlier. The Attorney General may not have actual knowledge of all that have transpired. When I mean actual knowledge, now documents to show. Because a story retold is a story diluted. If the person who might have told the Attorney General may have in the course of explaining, may have hidden some facts. But the letter the Attorney General relied on was in hard copy. So the Attorney General may not have known. Well, if he says I don't have the documents before me to show that their seats were declared vacant, he could be correct, because Attorney General is not a party. In the suit they claim they filed in I I don't think Attorney General is a party in the suit that was filed in Federal High Court Abuja, Court 4, that presided over by his lordship in court, presided over Court 4. So the Attorney General, as it is today, I cannot say whether he got those documents to know whether their seat have been declared vacant. But the letter, like I said, the letter written by the law firm of West Idausa and Co. presupposes that they are still members elect. And it was on the basis of that letter. If you read Attorney General's letter, he made reference to the letter written by West Idausa, not the social media, not any other suit. So to excuse I can comfortably excuse the Attorney General on the ground that the documents to show that their seats have been declared vacant since 4th of December 2019. And you know, hearsay now, whatever you see on media can even be hearsay.
Well,
thank you.
Let us also interrogate the position of the Inspector General of Police. The Inspector General of Police is a Nigerian consuming materials in the media. Is likely to be aware that these 14 gentlemen were not in. Is likely to be aware that the Constitution provides that if you have not gone through the process, you cannot therefore be adequately legally called a legislator. Will he be allowed to ignore or disregard the letter from the Attorney General because there are no real legislators who provide security?
Yes, it would have been right for him to have. When you say ignore now, that's to wait. My advice would have been that the Attorney General would have referred that letter or done a memo to his legal department. He has competent officers in his legal department. They would have advised the Attorney General to say, look, the IG is a party in the suit that was filed in Port Harcourt, EDIA versus Clark in this Edo State House of Assembly, where the court that made that affirmed the proclamation that was made by the governor. So the IG is aware of that matter. And the matter is on appeal. My friend JJ Usman is the one handling the matter. The matter is on appeal, Court of Appeal, Port Harcourt. And IG is a party in the matter, even up to this appeal. So the IG cannot feign ignorance of the fact that he cannot say he does not know, or is not aware that the supposed members elect, that their seat have been declared vacant. So when the IG got that letter, the IG it's an institution of its own. By virtue of I think section 215 or thereabout of the Constitution, he would have consulted his own legal department and said, look, this is a letter. Just oppose this letter with the court proceedings that have been served on us. And they would have written back to the Attorney General to say, look, the persons you are saying we should provide security for are no longer members of Edo State. They are no longer members elect in Edo State. And I think if he had written back to the Attorney General would have had a second look at the letter he wrote to the IG.
Lawrence, let us look at the efforts pardon the language I used at the beginning of this conversation, I refer to them as 17 renegade members of the state. The efforts they have made to legalize their positions as legislators in Edo State. They went to a private house, procured for themselves a mace, purport to have sat and impeached the speaker of Edo State House, and went ahead to elect their own speaker. Can this process they undertook, now they say with a mace, can it cure the deformity of their not being members of Edo State House?
It cannot cure it at all. Till today, as well, you are this press during this at the time of this press now, they are not members elect anymore because the matter is sub judice. And until the court takes a position on that, the pronouncement made by the Speaker of Edo State House Assembly on the 4th of December 2019 stands the position of things as it is today as one. Then the procedure they undertook. Well, you cannot put something on nothing and you expect it to stand. The law is certain, without further restatement, that a faulty foundation cannot give birth to a strong building. The basis is one. Before we talk about the building where they had the so-called meeting, the question is, Are they members elect? Talk more of members of Edo State House of Assembly? No. It is only when you are a member of the House of Assembly Edo State that you can start talking of usage of maize. You see, when I was in the legislative and my university days, maize, you can go to anyone and procure maize. But the stamp of authority of the maize is the speaker, or whoever the house has elected to preside over them that day, over the house that day. So anybody can go to where and get maize. So that they went to procure maize somewhere does not confer legitimacy on them. On the issue of the venue, on the authority of Inakoju and Adeleke, the court have heard severally that you cannot hold your legislative business outside the building recognized by the Constitution, the State House of Assembly in that state. So that settles that. So as to the venue, ironically, unfortunately, while the person who they elected as speaker was saying that they paid for a space on AIT, your television house, that they paid for a space where they used, the other man, their spokesman, was saying they did it in the conference center, in the conference hall of Edo State House of Assembly. Contradiction. But we all know reliably, we have reliable information that it was a paid venue that they used. So that alone made everything null, void, ab initio. But primarily is that the foundation upon which they stood to take the action was faulty.
Lawrence, let me make you the counsel to these embattled members of the District Assembly.
Yes. Yes.
Do they have a remedy to the situation?
Well, they have a remedy.
Or is there a course that they can pursue? Apart from political negotiation, a legal course they can pursue to help them out of the situation that they
The legal, yes, there's a window legally. One, that's the suit they have instituted at the Federal High Court to declare, to ask the court to determine whether the speaker could go ahead to declare their seat vacant when they had when three of them had a pending suit at the Edo State House of Assembly. It is when the court have decided that matter that they can now begin to pursue whether they want to be inaugurated or not. So the only remedy they have now is they should just pray to their God that the Federal High Court Abuja up to the Supreme Court should declare the proclamation of the speaker void, of the 4th of December 2019 void.
declaring vacant.
Their seat, yes. That proclamation, that pronouncement, that declared their seat vacant. If the court sets that pronouncement aside, then their status as members elect, they will not come back as members elect. Then they can now use political means to get themselves inaugurated. Then they'll come back to the house. But you know Nigeria, you know the politics in Nigeria. I just pray God give them that grace. And
I do not want to take this to God. I want us to thrash it out in this conversation. And I would ask the speaker, that is the legitimate speaker, who has been purportedly impeached, is his position at risk?
no, when you use the right word, purportedly. What the members elect did in the House Assembly, we can equally do it here in this media. We can, four of us can just sit and say we have impeached the Speaker of Edo State. So use the word purportedly. Yeah, in the first case, he remains the Speaker, not because I'm saying so, but because the Constitution says, Section 96, between 94 and 96 says, for you to impeach the Speaker, you must have 2/3 majority of the House. If there were 10 members, certainly 3 are not 2/3 majority of 10. So they couldn't have impeached, they cannot say they impeached the Speaker. That's one. As to the remedy, the Speaker, his position is not threatened because he remains the Speaker until 2/3 of the members of the Edo State House of Assembly they say he is no longer the Speaker.
But Lawrence, you just told me that something cannot stand unanswered.
Yes.
When the Speaker was elected, he was not elected by 2/3 of elected members of the Edo State House of Assembly.
Yes.
These members who are contending their situation in court were not there.
Yes.
So he was just elected by an inferior number as stipulated by the Constitution.
Yes.
So therefore, can his speakership be termed illegal?
Yes. Now, first step, is for the governor to make a proclamation. Second step is for the clerk of the house to convene the house to elect a speaker. Third step is for the house to form a quorum at the point of convening the house. Yes. When you call for, when the governor made his proclamation and the clerk called for inauguration, blessed are those that came, for they were inaugurated. If, okay, are you not saying that if the other members decide to stay aloof and we're having merriment, like what happened in Sadaki's case, that Edo State will remain without the House of Assembly? No. What happened was that were they up to 1/3? Yes, if they were up to 1/3, the House has been constituted. Even the section 106, between section 105 and section 106, on the issue of proclamation, is 4 years. The governor who is the governor of that state, shall make proclamation. And once he makes proclamation, he has taken, the Edo State House of Assembly took off. The day he made proclamation, that was when the House took off.
Why is it that the INEC has been prevaricating over conducting election into to fill the positions of those members whose seats have been duly, from what we have conferred, duly declared?
I am not holding brief for INEC, but I know that INEC, to an extent, they have respected the rule of law. When, like I mentioned earlier, when the House was inaugurated, 3 out of the 14 members approached the Edo State High Court. And when the seats were declared vacant on the 4th of December 2019, they also instituted an action. INEC was a party in that matter. And on the authority of Ojukwu, governor of Lagos State, INEC cannot take place. So INEC apparently, I'm not holding their brief, but I know that INEC proceeded to conduct fresh election when there's a matter in court and they are party in that matter. They were made party in that matter.
That matter in court is 3 people.
The matter in court, the one in the way you have 3 people was the matter they filed at Edo State High Court, challenging the inauguration that was conducted where Okiye was elected as the speaker. The one, they are all the 14, all of them, yes, that their seats were declared vacant. They are the parties in the Federal High Court, Abuja. And INEC cannot go ahead to conduct election when the subject matter is subject to litigation.
I'm not going to make you a wish doctor. I'm not going to make you a soothsayer. But how do you think the whole matter of the Edo State House and the inauguration or inauguration, legitimacy and illegitimacy, how do you think it's going to go?
Well, I think this is the first of its kind, where the Speaker of the House of Assembly will be declaring the members elect their seat vacant. Because for your seat to be declared vacant first, you must be a member. For your seat to be declared vacant, it's only a member seat that can be declared vacant. Are these people members? At the point their seats were declared vacant, can one say that they are legitimate members? They are members elect. When the president is elected and he's not been sworn into office, Abiola's case is a case study. Will you say that person is the president? No. He must have been sworn into office before he will say he's a president, before he can assume the position of president. Edo State, the 14 members were not inaugurated. They have not subscribed to the oath of allegiance of membership. There was no seat to be declared vacant. This is an issue where that's why it will be interesting. Let's hear how the court will decide the matter. Because the matter is in court, we will make statement on that. But for me, I'm thinking before you can, it only takes the seat of a member to be declared vacant. You need to be a member first. First. For your seat, before the speaker can say I'm declared as a vacant. But I think the speaker was because one, the speaker also had to take, it was an overkill. The speaker went extra mile to say, look, since you have not come to perform your legislative function, you have not come to perform that you have absconded. Because he relied on the provision of the Constitution and said, since you have not performed your legislative function 1/3, you have not sat 1/3 of 1 year that the Constitution requires, your seat can be declared vacant. But the question is, was there a seat in the first case? Were the 14 members, were they having seats at the House of Assembly in the first case? That's what the cost we have to look at.
Boris, I will thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, the conversation continues next Sunday. My name never changes. It remains Mark Boys in Choco. Good afternoon.
I beg make I welcome una come another corruption tori program where we dey shine light put for issue where corruption the cause for the development of we country people. My name na Ufoma Eguria say una welcome on. For our people we send us correct messages for our last program, alarm don't blow for National Assembly. We want thank you. Una thank you well. Una suggestion we una send and the things we una reason it dey very good. In fact, self make I read some of the things where some people send. Give us not be all, just some. Okay. Adetutu Oluyemisi from Lagos talk say the problem of corruption for National Assembly na sake of all these people wey make their money anyhow from different kind things come buy their way enter party primary to collect the tickets. And we self as country people, we dey vote for them, make them fit to enter, can't do wetin they sabi do pass, na im be to Colombi money chop am. We ourselves fit to change the situation when we dey ready. Thank you. Another person, Ikedi Nwachukwu from Owerri, Imo State. You send us 2 different text messages. One na for corruption tori. The other one na on top the report for signature show where they've been talk about picking where they miss. For the corruption tori own on top National Assembly, you talk say, wetin we self dey expect when all those former National Assembly people wey sit down, chop belleful, chop the money where they can't even tire clean their mouth. Them don't turn to heroes for this country with plenty money. The ones we dey now, not to chop money now, not to enjoy themselves, make themselves when they come out, they feel become important politicians to Abi. If we fit, they name these people, they disgrace them, send them go jail. You sure say corruption matter go dey less for National Assembly and other arms of government. But who go do this one? When police and EFCC, them they struggle for who go corrupt pass for this country. Now only God go save Nigeria. Now waiting you send give us be this. Tom, una thank you. Okay, my people, make we waka enter with Tori for today. Una believe say police or EFCC fit arrest one man for fraud, detain am for sale with other people where they don't catch like am for different mago-rich things. Then as they sell, make it can't take eye they look in fellow cellmates, they check who you go fit defraud for there. Una fit believe say that kind of thing fit happen, my people. Now waiting happen to Mrs. Obiezuonu Adeze for Maglo Tech International Limited. The story of how they take Adeze, the fraud now from right inside EFCC detention center. Now be with corruption story for this Sunday. Avec Tanda with us.
This a corruption theory.
For July 2014, one Aliyu Zakari, where them don't look am as original magomagorist, where don't defraud plenty people, he enter EFCC net as Lagos Zonal Office Gbapam. Then be detained am sake of he carry fake check, give people where he buy goods from, they owe them.
That kind of person will be dubious person. Because when you know say money no dey, why you go carry check, give somebody? Most especially, maybe the person don't work for you and is expecting his money. So when you know say you don't get money for that account, you not suppose carry check, give them, because if you go there, you don't see money, that one na fraud. And where Yoruba people they call GBT. So he's not a good businessman that could do that kind of thing, because if you get conscience, you go know say it's not good to even carry check when money no dey that account give person, because you don't raise the person hope, and that hope when you raise you can't make am come down. If person catch you for corner, if he give you correct blow, Thief no get another name. Thief na thief. Because anything where you do, where you dey try cheat your partner for business, na thief they call am now. Because if you collect goods from me, the best thing is to give me my money back. And when you give me my money, I go there happy to do business with you again. But you don't carry money give me, you just you don't give me money, but you just collect my goods. I no go there happy with you.
As Aliyu Zakari dey EFCC detention, he meet Mrs. Obiezuono Adeze for there, where EFCC arrest too. He tell the woman say himself na businessman where they do different business with both federal and state government. Now so he takes sweet mouth yarn this woman so he tell her say he get order from Kano state government to supply plenty bag where get tire to roll for ground, the one where they hang for shoulder, and even pilot briefcase of reach up to 17,136,450 naira give them. Madam Adeze go come collect 1,762 bag where go cover the money of waiting she supply.
Business generally is based on trust, because it's not be every time. Even bank will give you loan. It's based on trust that you come back and pay the loan. Don't be say bank just get the money, then just give everybody yafu. So business itself now based on trust. There are times where some people go give you work, say go do. When you finish them, they go pay you your full money. They will give you part payment. But sometimes you go do the job, when they give you your balance of money, they no go give you. So that means trust. There is distrust there. So that kind of person, you no go say me you go do job another time where you go do am for am. Like anywhere where there is no trust, things cannot business cannot move forward. And my own advice is say, if you cannot trust anybody, don't do business with them. Don't give them money expecting them to pay you back. Don't give them loan. Don't give them your goods. You have to know the person very well before you can trust the person. You don't do many businesses with the person. How they go give the person who lose the money back? What the person will lose the money to the thing where you go face as a result of losing the money? Maybe not the money where you want to raise in family, pay school fees, pay house rent. Make landlord come now. Say make the person come off from your house, make them pack and come off for house. Even the other person too, he go through a lot of stress.
If you want to be a successful businessman, you must make sure that when you do business, they must trust you. They must trust you to do business with you. If trust no dey, that business itself no go work well. The thing where person suppose get when you want start any business, now first of all, to do it in the right way. And when person carry product give you or carry market give you, say go sell, say I go come back collect my money, you must either you carry the money give am or you carry him product give am. So that one no go cost wahala. But if you don't sell my product, you no can't give me money, or you can't carry check give me the check, no can't get money there. You don't do me while you be that.
But as Aliyu Zakari collect the goods finish, he no supply them give the Kano state government. EFCC drag am go front of Justice Sherifat Shobebo on top 6-count charge of thief. But Aliyu Zakari says Sam he no dey guilty. We waka enter street, see wetin them get to yarn for the matter.
Wetin he do no good. The other person when he give fake check to, and he don't go with the goods. Where you want me that one start from? Na 419 be that one. If you collect goods from person, then you can't give the person check where you know say the check go bounce. Na criminal act, na thief they call that kind of person. If you do that kind of thing to one person, that person where you do am to, it go affect another person where be saying they come with genuine mind to do work and one give check, say make you go collect it. Fear go catch that one say I no go fit give you my load though because somebody don't ever do me this kind of thing before where you run with my money. So it dey affect business.
It's a fraudster now. Now why you person na GBT, somebody where they do GBT. They call am GBT or wayo. Now go fit give you fake check or check where nothing in your account, it's just the right check. But for me, now person where you know well, now you go fit collect check for your hand. Not everybody where you do business with, where you go fit say make you write check you collect.
To trust person now become a problem because go see say person go come buy something for your shop, go come carry check give you. When you go bank to withdraw the money, you no go see the money inside. You understand? So like this kind of thing now, those kind of people now, we don't know how go take classify them, but we dey say those kind of people now thief them be.
Lawyer wey dey prosecute for the trial, Franklin Ofoma, carry different witnesses come with documents wey dem use for court. Aliyu Zakari na him kuku defend himself, carry only one witness come. Justice Shobebo sentenced Aliyu Zakari to 10 years for 5 of the 6 counts wey dem accuse am for and 3 years for the last count. That one come be 53 years altogether.
This na corruption theory.
So now 53 years Aliyu Zakari go spend for jail now. Now wow, person wey dey arrest for fake check wey dey share give people wey dey owe money. Now he can't carry double wahala, or we go call am double fraud, put for your own head. Now what? My people, now we corruption story for today be that. Till we come again next week Sunday. I beg make una no forget wetin we dey always talk. Now only honest money, now it switch to chop pass. The one way they no go disgrace you put. My name na Ufuoma Igoriasi. Now bye bye yo.